I left the dance company and journeyed on again. I walked and walked over mountain and hill until I found a beautiful seaside town, at the center of which stood a grand tower. Intrigued, I inquired what this tower might be for, or who might live there. The townspeople told me that long ago, a foreign noble had come to the seaside town seeking to escape his own country. He had a great deal of gold and paid the townspeople well to help him construct the tower, inside of which he had now dwelled for many years. When the tower was finished, he had shut himself inside, and no one had seen him since. Not even the local men who delivered food to the small door which was the only means of entry. I decided to watch the tower and see if I might meet this reclusive noble. I watched the local men deliver a basket of fresh produce to his door that night. I kept my vigil for hours, until suddenly the door opened just wide enough for a hand to reach out and pull the food inside. Rather than risk the noble becoming frightened by a direct visit, the next day I asked the men to deliver a note with his food. If, it read, he would care to meet a prince from another land, might he leave the door ajar that night so that I might enter? The sun set, the stars appeared, and after the hand once again reached out to take the basket inside, the door remained open. I approached and entered. There before me stood a handsome man, nearly as tall as I, with a worried look on his face. "Come up then," he said, and led me to the center of the tower. There we came to a great elevator, upon which we ascended. At the top was a cozy, well-appointed room with windows that looked out over the town and the sea. We sat, and over tea he told me his tale. He was at heart, he said, a misanthropist, and did not care for people at all. He had built this tower to escape the frustrations of life among people, and was as content as he had ever been. I could tell that he meant it. Living in this tower, the one thing he missed was physical relations. And so I spent the night to remind him. I stayed in the tower for many days. The noble and I talked for hours on end, and our relationship grew. I became quite fond of him, and even loved him. We could, I thought, balance each other well, and my parents would be pleased at a partnership with a noble from another land. And so I brought it up to him. Though I could not live in the tower as he did, would he be interested in continuing our relationship? With great sadness in his eyes, he told me that he was happier alone, and though he had tried to love me, he didn't. If it couldn't work with you, he said, it won't work with anyone. And he sent me down in that great elevator. He still lives there. He even writes me sometimes, from his high tower to my frozen castle. Perhaps he was right all along. Some part of me will always feel the disappointment of offering myself and feeling that I wasn't enough, wasn't right. I imagine that as I left, he sighed with relief as he closed the tower door behind me. With heavy steps, I made my way to the docks to board a ship. Better to sail away to uncharted, frosty parts of the sea, I thought, than to stay in that town, haunted by the towering reminder of what I could never have.